And at this point in my life, I can honestly say that I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I do know who holds tomorrow. The road has been smooth at times, but many times it's just been very, very bumpy. There's been days that I didn't feel well physically, and days that emotionally I just wanted to quit. I just didn't think I could go on anymore. I don't want to dwell on this part either, but I've had to take a good look at death, and that hasn't been easy. The fear and despair that I felt at times really was just almost more than I could bear. And there's been many times I've cried out to God and said, I'm not Job. I'm not Job. I can't take anymore. But then at the same time, I remember the words of Job from chapter 13, verse 15, when he says, though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. And the scriptures just have been so comforting to me and so revealing, and at times I just thank God for the Bible, because it just seems like it was written just for me. And I can't tell you how many times when I have felt that fear and despair that I have turned the pages, and right there was something that I have read over and over in my life, and I have heard the stories over and over in my life, but on that particular day, it might be a five-word sentence that just really jumped out to me, and I was able to claim that for that day. One of my favorite scriptures that I memorized when I was back in college was Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have made for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I cling to that verse, and I claim that verse, and I hope to hold him to that promise that we'll have that future. Well, the greatest part of the story is coming up next. That is, my God, who I put my hope and trust in, has never failed me. He knew the journey that I was going to be on even before I was born, and he began preparing myself and people that he knew was going to be around me to support me. I feel like I've had an army just completely surrounding me and helping me to walk through this battle. He's blessed us by providing our every need, and even when we first found out that I had cancer, he sent over a couple of dear friends of ours just to pray with us, just to spend time and to pray with us, and that's exactly what we needed at that time. He's sent people over to mow our lawn. He's sent people to do our dishes and our laundry, and to try to keep some kind of order in my house that has never had order in it, and to help with the kids. It's just really been awesome to see how he uses people to get his job done of taking care of other people. We had an unexpected blessing a few weeks ago. We got a call that said that someone had anonymously paid for our children's tuition at Lakeview Christian School. And that was something we just never really expected. And that was a chunk of change. And I just, I'm very thankful for that, and it still gives me goosebumps when I talk about that. Really, he's given us so many blessings that the list could just go on, and there's just too many to say. But I can't fail to mention that the blessings of new friendships. I've met a lot of you through this when you bring the meals over, and you've touched our lives. And old friendships and relationships that have grown and deepened. And, going through something like this, it makes you realize in life what are the petty things and what are really important. And it's those relationships that you develop and the way that you touch other people's lives that is really important. I'd like to close on this thought that every one of you, and you probably already have, but if you haven't, you will go through at least one major trial and many minor trials throughout your lives. I know the answer to help get you through those trials. We have a God who loves us, and he wants to take care of us. Dear friends, he is so much more than we could ever comprehend. Our minds just can't fathom how great our God is. He truly does know what is best for us. We just have to trust in him. In Isaiah 55:8, the Lord declares, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." I encourage each of you to develop the best relationship you will ever have in your life, and allow him to give you, as he has me, peace that just goes beyond all understanding.
She walked into his office, her heart was filled with fear. What was the diagnosis? What were the things she'd hear? The doctor with compassion said, we'll do what we can do. The future isn't easy, and this was the truth she knew. She thought about her family, how much they really knew. The oldest was just 12, the youngest child was 2. And looking at her husband, not knowing where to begin, she said, I'm going to fight this. I'll fight until I win. Never did she waver, her faith in God was strong. Never did she ask why me, or feel that she'd been wrong. The pity for your thoughts, what if this were your cross? Is God's grace big enough to carry you through? How would you respond? Would you feel that you've been wronged? A penny for your thoughts, what would you do? He never talked of dying, God was going to heal. Her courage was contagious, her faith in God was real. As long hours passed and weeks turned into days, each moment was so precious, her strength just waned away. About her daughter's wedding, will she even be missed? Her 4 babes will graduate without a mother's kiss. Then life began to drift away. She passed the final test. She knew that God was in control. Her spirit now could rest. Never did she waver, her faith in God was strong. Never did she ask why me, or feel that she'd been wrong. A penny for your thoughts, what if this were your cross? Is God's grace big enough to carry you through? How would you respond? Would you feel that you'd been wronged? A penny for your thoughts, what would you do?
And at this point in my life, I can honestly say that I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I do know who holds tomorrow.
She said goodbye to everyone, in perfect peace she died. She would wait on heaven's shore, watching from the other side. Never did she waver, her faith in God was strong. Never did she ask why me, or feel that she'd been wrong. A penny for your thoughts, what if this were your cross? Is God's grace big enough to carry you through? How would you respond?